how people get stuck in broke mentality. People get stuck in the broke mentality because they do not know when to move on and they do not know when to let go. You can't sit down and expect say something just go fall upon your lap. So it will fall upon your lap once you put it in the work, yes. But it not just comes up. Brokenness and poverty, our mindset. Is there any advice for someone who doesn't have much, but they know that their lifestyle is higher than their means right now? So I remember there was a time back when I grew up in Jamaica and our lights got cut off multiple times. It's happened multiple times. And as a little kid, you're just like, oh, this is just another situation, especially because it's become normalized. And I used to say to myself, I wonder why we have to pay for electricity when we live on an island where there is sunshine all the time. Why can't we just have solar panels? And this is before solar panels was even a major thing or whatever. But as I look, right? And I'm actually glad that certain things reach me in a life because it brings you to a different level of meds when you do eventually grow and you eventually get to the point where you can afford things, you know? And I remember the younger Vanessa. I'm so glad I'm still in tune with the younger Vanessa because I still kind of have that little tweak of understanding that you're like them cut off right now. You can't do nothing about it, right? And my mother is broke, but I'm not broke. I'm just a bystander of the brokenness. Do you understand what I'm saying? And sometimes, most of the times, when you're that age, you are the circumstance of your parent because if they're not teaching you how to maintain money or financial literacy, you are going to be codependent on the parent, right? So in that moment, there enough instances like my lights being cut off. Sometimes there's like minimal food to eat and there's something there, you know. And I mean, I don't know bashing or nothing, but it's like now that I'm older, I reach some certain levels where I actually appreciate them moments there because first of all, me going plant-based now just really enlightened me. It's a good thing I wasn't gluttonous. It was a good thing. Me never after they scuff my face. It was a good thing because my family body type don't really need so much food. You see me? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but you go through things in a life for a reason. And you're supposed to learn from these lessons and understand. Say, everything what happen for you, I want a lesson. It's nothing, I believe, say, it might feel bad in the moment if you feel bad, if your perspective is bad. But me genuinely think everything in your life happen for a reason. So, I might have a few pointers. What I've learned being broke financially. I mean, I feel like people broke, I just feel like they just don't know how to get money or use the skill set when they have to forget it. Yeah. What you need to understand if you're in need of money right now and like finances, you need to realize that there are more people like you than people who are rich. So you're not alone in this. I don't know how so much shame come about and the whole world. Do you know that the whole world is in the same boat as you? You might even be richer than somebody in the eastern part of the world. Us on the western side of the world, people down in South America, you know, right? You don't know. You might feel like you're broke, but you might just be living in a really expensive society. You know what I'm saying? You might just be living in a really expensive society, and it's just the mental block of getting yourself from point A to point B. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Another thing too, to understand that you are still valuable despite what's in your bank account, right? You need to reason with yourself and say, okay, what am I valuable at? Me, I know I'm valuable at speaking. I know I'm valuable at organizing. I know I'm valuable in all kinds of things. I know I'm valuable in mind, psychology. I know that I'm valuable in so many things that I can be used for. I'm good with my hands. I can make things. I just have to find a way to get my product to the end, to the person, to the consumer. And if that's not your strong suit, figure out what is. If you have to work a little job in the meantime, go ahead, because at the end of the day, every job I've done has taught me a lesson. Every single thing has taught me a lesson. I work a lot of jobs too. I worked in McDonald's, I worked in painting and construction, I worked in the gambling sector, I worked in retail, shoes retail. And I learned so much. In McDonald's, I learned how to manage food handling. I learned how the FIFO system works. If you know what the FIFO system is, I learned different type of styles that restaurants allow to happen. I learned how to clean a grill, industrial grill. I learned the grades of how hot you're supposed to heat French fries. Like there's a perfect temperature to get it so crisp. That's why McDonald's fries taste so good. It's like the betting industry. I learned about how the bookies work, how you place bets, how odds work. Like I'm learning languages that I didn't even know existed. You would just walk past them and not know what these things mean. I worked in shoes retail. I learned about people having low arches, flat feet, how to help them, what shoes give them. And you know what I'm saying? Like there's so much shame that social media is putting out there, people who work, but I believe it's just all perspective. I feel like each industry is fixing a solution. Every business is fixing a problem and giving solutions. That's why it's a business. And why should you feel guilty to go and work in an establishment until you figure out your shit? Like I don't understand where this mindset came from. You have to work for somebody before people can come and work for you. Why not get as much experience as possible? Me personally, I believe if you are in the working, I believe that you shouldn't work a job more than 2 years unless you're planning to level up and become manager and whatever, because gain all the experience you can and move on. Why wait if that's not what you want? And this is how people get stuck in broke mentality. People get stuck in the broke mentality because they do not know when to move on and they do not know when to let go. Like, give it up. The get rich quick annotation takes years. Don't let these people fool you, making you think like, oh yeah, get rich real quick, do this, you can get it. Nah, you have to put in a certain amount of work to get these things. Whether it be drop shipping, retail, selling something. And that's one thing too that I've learned coming from Jamaica and understanding that you really have to work for something what you want. America has taught me that things are easier, yes, but you have to work for what you want. If you want to get a result, it's the law of the universe. You have to put in some form of effort and work to receive and recoup something. That's just how it works. It's just the law of the universe. You can't sit down and expect say something just go fall upon your lap. So it will fall upon your lap once you put in the work, yes. But it not just come so when you align yourself, it will come. Yeah. And you can learn from everything. You can learn from If you don't, and I'm gonna say it again, if you don't know what you want to do right now, do something until you can. What you gonna do? You can't buy yourself a roll on. You can't buy yourself some panty, some brassiere. Like, come on now. Let's have sense. Let's be, please. Oh, and I remember I used to work in paint and construction. And listen, I could do interior design. The fact and the amount of knowledge I know about painting and decoration, like, hit me up. I can tell you the wallpaper you need on your wall, type of adhesive you need to put your wallpapers up on the wall. I can tell you what type of paint you need to use in your bathroom so it don't strip. I can tell you what kind of paint to use in high traffic areas if you have children. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to look upon the positive in anything what you do. Else you just go live a life like a sad man, and you're just always gonna have issues with everything. Like, you can't do that, especially if it's something that it's somewhere that you spend most of your days, you know? hmm And another thing I learned is it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you save and invest. Once you always have good habits with money, it doesn't matter how much money you receive in your hand or your bank account. Oh, it doesn't matter how much money you receive or have, it's about how you save it and how you invest it. The 50-30-20 rule is great. Save majority of 50% and use that for like your big expenses. You put 30% aside in your saving and 20% for investing. Whatever formula works for you, however you want to budget. But it's good to have a plan, a strategy, because let's be honest, when you have money and see money in your hand, you want to use it. And if you don't have the plan for the money will go missing. The money will find somewhere to go if you don't find a way for it. Another thing I learned too, and I'm glad I learned this, money is everywhere. Like, I believe everyone is a walking magnet for money. You just need to look around you and figure out what you can do. All right, I know snowfall. I mean, no, say snowfall every year. If snow no fall, something go on the road, some car go broke down, and me know some I can shovel snow for people. Like, there's so many opportunities out there. It's just what you're willing to do. You know what I'm saying? And one thing me learn about and just living abroad overall, you could have gone to university, you could have got the highest education, and you come here. I've seen people working in 7-Eleven, seen people working in McDonald's over 11 years and they have an engineering degree. Okay? In a foreign, right? And it's not because they want to work in these jobs, it's because it pays more money than if they were to go back to school over here, get qualification over here. They need money now, right? While they figure out what they can do to do this. Like, money is not going to solve your issues up here. It's not going to solve no issues up there. You might feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get more money and it go fix everything in my life. No, it's not gonna fix everything in your life, especially if you're just trauma dumping all over your life. It's an extra story. On my father's side, him have a good amount of wealth that he worked for, and somebody in my family have a big house and big space, and they just living there by themselves. No family no want to stay around them because they're miserable. They're not optimistic. They're very stubborn. And them have all this money and have this big house and alone. Their children don't want to see them. Family don't want to come visit. And all of these things. So, to conclude what I'm trying to say, Broke is just a mindset. It's not a definite answer, and it's always up to you. Where you want to go, who you want to be. As I said in the previous episode, it's all up to you. What is this? I'm done, you know. Okay. Anyways, what are you doing? The viewfinder's over here.
Oh, I can't even see it. Okay. By the way, you get 2 seconds. Are you done?
Yeah. He wants to show off his chain. He's the plug if you need a chain with custom chains. He's the link.
Nice stuff.
Put the link in the bio after.
Nice stuff.
All right, y'all. It's been a good conversation. Leave y'all with some good vibes and good energy. Until the next episode. See ya.